What's up, people? Your hero is back. Yesterday's video was just one of the worst videos I ever made in my life. Because there's some times where, just go back and watch the video, okay? And you can see the attitude and I'm like forcing words, right? It seems like I'm not really there, yet I'm there, talking about how great I feel and this, that, and the other thing. You know why? Because I'm fighting it right now. I'm fighting the good fight of insanity. You understand something? Every time I'm talking to you, like right now, you know what's going on in the back of my head? BP, oil spill, that's what's going on in my head. That's what's going on in my head. So I'm repressing that. The idea. By 9:41, normally I've smoked 4 or 5 cigarettes already. So the vacancy of that is enough to drive you insane. I don't know if that's ever going to subside, but here's another thing about the video yesterday. I was talking about how we should buy Hig here, and we'll probably be able to sell it at 24. That's why the videos are pointless. I was shorting Hig when it broke back under 23. Then we were shorting it again at 22.64 because that was the price that we were looking for it to hold, because those were the flash crash lows, as I'm calling everything. I'm still calling for the quid to go to 20.35 because of the flash crash. And that's the only thing we've been doing well on. Everything else is just day trading. So far in the chat room, I gave out 1 or 2 winners. Priceline was a loser. I got stopped out of that. I got stopped out of my U.S. deal. Made some money on the Hartford. So basically, I'm net up $140 on about 10,000 shares traded. So basically, it's a flat day for me right now. We are in a position right now where we're going into the summer where the volume's going to dry up, the VIX is going to be increased, and there's a lot of strife going on. We got all that stuff. We got the BP oil spill. What the BP oil spill, I don't know if you could call it a crack in the fucking earth, an oil spill at this point. What the oil spill is proving to me is that maybe as we know, everything is manipulated in the world, maybe, just maybe, the core of the earth is actually made out of oil, and there's an unlimited supply of this shit, and we've been getting lied to all these years, just so they can make a market out of it. You have to have a limited supply of a commodity, therefore to generate the price fluctuations. But if we've now discovered that there's a crack in the earth where there's just oil spewing out of it, which can't be stopped, apparently they have cracked the oil well, the crack in the earth, that there is an unlimited supply. So eventually the whole entire ocean is going to be made out of oil, and this is the end of the world until they figure out how to cap this shit. Now, another thing is BP should now be out of business, and everybody associated with the crack in the earth. You have fucked the world, therefore you should be now barred from participating in capitalism until you figure it out and you pay everybody back. I'm talking about Joe Schmo on the boat that's now can't afford to make his living because he has no fishing. And I want Bubba Gump, I want all the guys, everybody that's in trouble, all the way down to me. How do I am affected by the BP oil spill? Well, let me tell you. I don't know if I told you this or not, but we, as a family, the Crawlsters, and all of us are about to go down to the Keys. Because my wife said, oh, let's get together with the family. Even though I don't understand vacations with kids, my wife thinks that's a good thing. Vacationing with your kids is basically life in another location, not a vacation. It's just you're taking your life and you're moving it over there. And I don't see the joy in all that. A vacation to me is not having any responsibility. I mean, I love going hanging out with my kids, but I do that every day. Every day. So why? Just because we're at a different area? Alright. But this thing is, I made reservations to go to Key West. And the next thing you know, a crack in the earth opened up. So here I am thinking I'm going to be swimming with the dolphins. Meanwhile, I'm going to be covered in an oil slick. So I want BP, and I'm going to start a class action suit. And if you're with me out there, if you're headed down to the southern part of America, and you're pissed off because you don't want to go there right now, but I'm going anyway. I'm going. I don't give a shit. I'm going to go with my video cameras. I'm going to bring some cardboard and some signs, get some picketing going. Might as well have some fun as a quitter about to break 19. But BP, I want my money back from my airline tickets. I want my money back for the hotel that I'm staying at. And I want 20% compensation for pissing me off. For fucking the world. Alright? Now, I'm assuming that you guys can throw me $4,000. Because $4,000 is dick for you guys. But for me, it's pretty significant. I want my $4,000 plus 20% commissions. So anyway, what I was saying, let's go back to the markets for a second, all right? We're going down, and there's nothing you could do about it, and that guy, and this guy, and that guy, okay? But what you can do is each morning, we can see what's going on. We can shuck and jive, do what we got to do. We try to suck a little bit of more money out of it on the trading thing and go to cash, because there's going to be that day where we're gapping down. 125 points, 125 NASDAQ futures points, and the NASDAQ's going to just open up down 250, and we're not going to rally off that low. And we're just going to open up and just sit there and wallow. And everybody's going to be miserable. And the quid are going to be back at 20 bucks. And you're going to be thinking, oh, I can't short the market now. And then we're going to go lower. And then you're going to be thinking, oh, I can't sell now. I should have sold back a month ago when all this stuff started happening. And then you're going to say, oh, I can't start selling now, or I can't start shorting now. And then finally, capitulation will come in. I want you to take a look at the QQQQ chart over the last year and a half. We are going back. We're giving back an entire year's movement. That's the way I feel. That's the worst case scenario. Take a look at July of 09's lows on the Qs, which are around 37, 38, which will bring the quid to about 27, 28. That would be capitulation low. That would be some scary shit. If we just suddenly gave back an entire year in the matter of a month and a half. That would be frightening. The VIX would be at 50 or 60, which again, I suggest you trade that. If you buy the VIX, remember, the stock that trades the VIX does not trade with the VIX. It's an ETF, ETN, whatever the hell it is. It doesn't go penny for penny. I hope you know that by now. There's some confusion from some people. Also, as much as you want to just buy stocks that you think are cheap because they've come down so much, remember the HEAT, H-E-A-T. Remember the APWR. Remember the FSLR. Remember the A1s. Remember the rhinos. When they go lower in a bear market, those are the ones that keep going lower. Stop looking for a bounce. Yeah, you might get your 1 or 2 days where the stock bounces just to sucker you back in, and then they just roll back over. And I'm talking about rhino. Stay away from this stock. It looks like it's probably going to go into the single digits. And if you guys remember, and the whole idea that I was talking about, the words are shaking up, shut your mouth. What I was telling you guys to do last earnings season, right, was straddles, spreads, basically buying the calls and the puts. And you know what? Every single one worked out now if you held to expiration, and if, according to the guidelines, when you're doing these straddles and spreads, you should go out more than a month to give your option an opportunity to make some money on the one that you were losing money on, because now all the puts are in play. Think about it. We were buying HIG $29 puts. Remember that? We were buying the $30 calls and the $29 puts. Never did we think we were going to be making that much money on the put side. Also, Alto, just think about what we would have done with those HEAT. We were buying $12.50 calls and $12.50 puts. The stock's at $5 now. All right, let's talk about coming to the chat room. It's hitthebid.com. Right now, the market's going lower. I don't give a shit what you think you know. And at the end of the day, you'll be yelling at me if the market's up today, because these videos don't mean shit, because chat room where it's happening. So be there.
I would much prefer Krull.